What's up, guys? Welcome to Forgemaster Metal Reviews, the place where you can get the most out of your metal.
It's January and 2022 is here. We are looking at some of the highlight albums that are coming out in the first quarter of the year. What are you excited for? Be sure to leave your picks down in the comments below.
Happy New Year, folks. It's looking like 2022 is another exciting year for metal, so we're going to hit on what's coming up through March to get stoked on. If you like metal content like this, murder that like button, and if you're new, subscribe.
Let's see our enemies driven before us. Let's hit our anticipated metal albums for the first quarter of the year. Will to Run, Epigon. The trajectory of this band has been freaking insane. They've just been launching full lengths like cruise missiles. They're all awesome. I'm definitely expecting this to set the bar for symphonic metal for 2022.
Yeah, man, I love the nature vibes. This band nails it every single freaking time. I'm hoping to see this on a top list this year.
So for our deathcore fans, we have Shadow of Intent and Fit for an Autopsy, that will both be releasing albums this month. I don't really care much for Fit for an Autopsy, but we want to put these things on your radar. My intent is really on checking out Shadow of Intent. They are one of those symphonic deathcore bands that are doing something really cool.
Yeah, man, those reactions for the singles we've heard so far, all killer stuff, and they're young, up and coming. We love people who are getting after it. Shadow of Intent, can't be more excited to check this one out.
Also this month, we have 40 Watt Sun and Boris. 40 Watt Sun, I am very excited for. They are taking really cool direction with their music. Kind of reminds me of like a slowed down post-Judgment era Anathema. Super fucking sad. Can't wait for this one.
I love 40 Watt Sun. One of the few bands that can take doom vibes and clean acoustic kind of like vibes and still make it super sad. So can't wait for this one.
As I mentioned, Boris is coming out with W this month as well. Boris is a freaking weird band. I don't say that about a lot of bands. They're tough to categorize, but if you want something super weird and unique, you got to be sure to check out W.
You know, it's funny. I haven't really checked out Boris before, so I think it's time to change that with this new one.
Dawn of Solace, Flames of Perdition is going to be coming out towards the end of January. We were pretty sad to see this one get pushed back a few months, but we know that good things are worth the wait. The singles are awesome. This one is bound to be a sad boy banger.
Absolutely. Sad boy vibes all day. We love their last album. The Wolfheart guys are busy in Dawn of Solace, so we're not complaining. Can't wait for this one.
Kind of a little different pick here. We've got Jethro Tull with the Zealot Gene. Wild to think that Ian Anderson and his crew are still going on it. Definitely for all you progressive rock fans out there. Don't know if the single that I checked out really clicked with me. I was kind of more of a fan of their hard rock stuff anyway. So, but yeah, for all you prog fans, you're gonna dig it.
Hopefully we get some woodsy vibes. That's all I'm looking out for. If we don't, that's cool. We're getting a Jethro Tull album, so it should be neat.
And finally, for our last album that we're talking about, January, Steve Vai with Inviolate. The single Little Pretty had me fucking flipping out, dude. Vai is an absolute OG, and the dude is still making shred music that is equally accessible and mind-blowing. Super excited for this to become part of my active rotation.
Me too, man. Steve Vai is a god among men. I am super excited for this. That single was absolutely crazy. I kind of went in with low expectations and left very excited for this record.
All right, let's get into February, starting it off with Zeal and Ardor. Based on the single Golden Lyre, I'm definitely curious to see how they implement their more extreme sounds. We know that they can and they will. It sounds like they're toning down their avant-garde approach a bit and roping in some more gospel and old blues influences. Super cool.
Yeah, man, I love what this band is doing. They're super innovative. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, bringing in lore from their backgrounds. It's just a great band all around, doing some important stuff in the scene. Super excited for it.
Cult of Luna is launching The Long Road in the middle of February on Metal Blade. The Raging River, obviously we just talked about it on some of our favorite Doom. It's absolutely boombastic. Looking forward to them to following it up with a full length. It's very exciting. Based on the singles, I'm expecting super dreary atmosphere and riffs like 500-pound bombs.
Easily, maybe even 600-pound bombs. I love the mix between hardcore vocal style and doomy riffs. So freaking good. This is easily going to be a highlight of the year for me. I'm going to hype it up.
One of our favorite melodic death, goth, unique, I don't know, I don't even know what to call Amorphous anymore. They are their own thing. Amorphous is dropping Halo. Definitely excited for this. I'm always curious to see in what direction Amorphous goes, whether you like it or not. It's Amorphous, man. You gotta check it out.
Yeah, man. Amorphous has been one of those bands that have changed a lot over the years, from their early days into now. They've developed into some seasoned metal veterans with a lot of praise. I'm excited for Halo. It's going to be a great time.
Voivod, Synchro Anarchy. The single Planet Eaters showcases the band's unique style of sci-fi inspired prog metal. Probably not something I'm just going to revisit a ton, but for all you progressive and tech lovers, put this one on your watch list.
I mean, these are Canadian metal titans. I'm sure the Canadians are super excited for Voivod. I'm super stoked. Their discography's great, so bring it on.
Immolation Acts of God. The single Apostle was a bit stale. I still have very high expectations from these riff masters. I'm not sure I like the idea of going in with older sounding production values. I'm kind of nervous that this one's going to be generic, but still, I'll check it out.
The last album that they put out was definitely on the older school production side, and it was kind of quiet. I can see that they're continuing that trend, but the last record was still great, so hopefully we'll get something good here.
Allegion. Tech deathers Allegion are looking to keep up with bands in 2021 like Archspire and Obscura by releasing their 5th studio album, Damnum. Expect blistering songs at face-ripping tempos.
This is a band that is keeping ahead of the curve for tech death. They got their own sound, so I'm excited to see what they came up with. Their last record was fantastic, so riffs all day, bring it on.
Shape of Despair, Return to the Void. Yup! Bring on the sadness with this one. Alongside Finnish Doomsters, Rapture, and Colosseum, Shape of Despair have been submitting us to their sadness for 22 years now. I've always found them a bit monotonous for my tastes. Wasn't their last album called Monotony Fields? Yeah, it was. But, I mean, based on the singles alone, I'm still definitely going to listen to this. Doom on.
It's funny you bring on Monotony Fields. It's one of my favorite Doom albums ever. It's made it on a couple of our lists, so I am super excited for Shape of Despair's new record.
And finally, in February, Hammerfall, Hammer of Dawn. The single is fucking awesome. I love this band, and while I don't usually listen to their albums from front to back, except for Legacy of Kings, that album fucking slays, I'm definitely expecting a few fist-pumping anthems on here. Should make for a good power metal soundtrack playlist.
I'm looking to look like a Frazetta-like warrior this year, so Hammerfall's gonna go on my playlist for the gym. I'm stoked.
Madness. How I remember the sadness. We were hiding our tears.
And for March, we have Sabaton, the war to end all wars. After 1914 delivered one of the most epic metal sagas about World War I I've ever heard, it's tough to approach Sabaton's record without a jaded mindset. I'm not sure I'm going to be putting this one on my rotation, but we're sure that some of you will be digging it.
I'm not really a huge Sabaton fan. When I went and saw them live, they kind of made me cringe a little bit, but hey, I'm open to new music. I'll check them out. If they vibe with me, great. If not, then I'm sure someone else will love it.
Crowbar, Zero and Below. Here we go. Low-key hoping for this album to be a fucking album of the year contender in the Doom category here. The riffs are insane. This band is essential listening for us. Fucking psyched about this one.
This one is easily in my top 5 excited about albums for this year. Crowbar is essential freaking listening. One of the heaviest bands on the goddamn planet. One of the best vocalists in the goddamn world. Super stoked to get my head caved into this album.
Dark Funeral, we are the apocalypse. Who knows really what to expect from these black metal legends? It's been 6 years since their last release. It's a bit mysterious. We couldn't really find too much about this one coming into it, but hey, should be cool. It's Dark Funeral.
Dark Funeral are essential listening for black metal. They're kind of like the dorky Cradle of Filth in their longevity of their career, so I'm sure this will be good. It'll be a fun one to revisit. Hath, all that was promised, easily one of the most promising and exciting modern death metal bands out today. Their last album of Rot and Ruin was one of my favorite records of 2019 and still, so I'm excited to see these guys kick out some killer death metal this year.
Yeah, dude, you showed me them with Rot and Ruin, and I was absolutely floored. Very excited to see what this band has to offer for us this year. I'm sure it's going to be great. And picking it up with Kavayan, The Great Below. They low-key put out one of our favorite black metal records of 2020 with their debut record, The Funeral Pyre. At least their single, The Great Below, isn't afraid to unleash the Loomis. Pretty fucking pumped for this one. Should be great.
You know, it's cool to see black metal bands doing the partnership thing and inviting people on their albums, and there are label mates on Black Lion Records because, you know, I'm in Merrillfields, but I'm super excited for The Great Below. This has by far been probably the most popular band on Black Lion Records, and they just cannot be stopped. So super excited to hear this record.
And finally, we have Animals as Leaders, Parrhesia. The tech metal gent masters do more than just chase the boundaries of heavy music. They are also serious tone nerds, always seeking to advance their sonic identity. Not sure I'm going to have this one on heavy rotation, but I'm expecting an absolute mind bender from these guys.
I mean, these guys are titans in their own small instrumental gent subgenre, so I won't be surprised to see this on a lot of metal lists this year, especially some of the prog nerds of the world, some of the best players in metal, period. So I'm sure this is going to be a great listen. And what are your albums that you are looking forward to in 2022? Leave those down in the comments below.
And as always, go with the gods, our Forgemaster brethren. Be sure to leave the crypt unlocked. Take care.
Our tears.